We're gonna make something out of nothing. We're gonna make a spark into a flame. No, you don't know it? Oh, it was a big hit at the time, big hit. I always have that song in my head. I don't know why. It's from the phrase something out of nothing. And I had to Google it because I thought it was Samantha Janice, her Eurovision entry in the 90s, which was actually Message to Your Heart, I believe. But this was, what's her name? Letitia Dean from EastEnders. I'm going to put, if I remember, I'm going to put a link somewhere because that song is something else. How are you feeling today? What songs have you got in your head? What are you listening to? No, I would say, to all that music. That music's very, don't listen to anything that makes you feel, You want to listen to music that makes you feel like that. Yeah. Yeah. Spice Girls, the Bee Gees, Prince, Beyonce, Jill Scott. These are your options, okay? Upbeat. Bit of Robin, not too much. She gets a bit sad, doesn't she? Makes you feel like you're in a club, heartbroken all the time, which has got its place, believe me. Okay, let's see what our tip is today. May 13th. Spend 5 minutes today doing nothing. Become comfortable with silence and stillness. Do this every day. Yvette Jane, you're a genius. I have a feeling that some of you might be spending more than 5 minutes doing nothing every day. Is it you? Well, it's allowed, isn't it? The next time somebody says you're not doing anything, you can be like, no, I am doing something. Because I listened to a TED talk about this. I'm so informed. And I was going to say, I watch loads of TED talks. I don't, but I do love them. By Manoush Zomorodi, who's the new presenter of the TED Radio Hour, which is a podcast. And if you don't listen to it because it's great. And she talks about the science of boredom. And what this is when you're, and by the way, this is a bit like, nobody's decided if this is true or not. So it's still a bit like, we're not sure. The scientists aren't sure, but don't worry about that bit anyway, because it's helpful. Your brain goes into what's called a default mode, which means that when you're bored, which means that it like, these are like connectors in your brain. Impress science, try and keep up. And they kind of solve problems whilst you're in that default mode, whilst you're bored. So this is why you tend to have ideas when you're going for a walk, or when you're in the shower, or when you're like doing the ironing, or if you're like rolling up socks, like things that you're doing, but your body's not really, your mind isn't really thinking about them. Yeah? So you can get something out of nothing. We're going to turn a spark into a flame. That's why I sang that song. Yeah, it makes sense, doesn't it? Makes perfect sense. So the next time somebody's like, why are you sat there doing nothing? You'd be like, I'm not. I'm doing something. Thanks. Doing something. That's something, isn't it? It's a bit of something. So be kind to yourself and do nothing. Wash your hands. Stay safe. Be mindful.